Hi, everyone. Dallas Piana here from Coaching Scaling Secrets. Happy New Year. Here we are in 2022. And today I am so excited about this training today and teaching you what I know regarding generating leads, getting ideal clients using Facebook. A couple of weeks ago, I did a live on how to get clients outside of the internet, like, in your surroundings, outside of Facebook, right? So today we're just going to talk about how to do it on Facebook. Now, if you are going to catch the replay, say replay below. Now, I'm going to tag people that said in the invite, if you said maybe to the event, I will tag you after we're done with this live, just to make sure you know where to go, because obviously, there's so much coming into your news feed all the time. Okay, so I just want to make sure that the sound is on here. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. And if you're hopping on live, say hi, tell me where you're calling in from. Love to know, what are you working on in your business this year? Like, what is the goal? Okay, what do you want to have experience? I like that better. I don't know if you've been reading some of my emails, but I had just done, I'm in the middle of doing a Silva Ultramind workshop with Vishen from Mind Valley. And instead of doing goals, he's like, what's the experience you want to have this year? What is the experience you want to have rather than to achieve like an outcome? So I like that better. So let me know, what experiences do you want to have this year? Now, I'm just going to set up my notes because I have a lot of information I want to share with you. I may even share my screen. So before we even get into where to find your ideal clients, let's review about fleshing out who is your ideal client, right? Who do you want to be working with? Who is your program best for? Now, I want you to go a little bit deeper here, okay? And I wrote down some notes here because I feel like, we get trapped thinking there's only like one group, there's only a set or a handful of groups where your ideal clients are hanging out. And that's not true. They're really, you got to think about it. There are like millions of Facebook groups. So I'm going to try to trigger you and kind of get your brain going to think outside the box that you're in. So let's start with, if you're in the health and wellness area and you are a weight loss coach, for instance, okay? First of all, you want to be specific. What kind of health and wellness coach are you? Okay, because that's such a broad category. As I'm a spiritual coach, that's a broad category. Okay, or I help spiritual coaches build their business online. That's a broad category because there's lots of subtitles, subcategories under those big broad categories. So let's just say you are a weight loss coach or you're in the health arena. Okay, so you want to look or get a piece of paper and a pencil out and start writing these things down. What are the symptoms that someone is having? What is the problem that they're having that they want to lose weight? Because there's many reasons why people want to lose weight, right? Not only to look good, but let's say someone has digestive issues, okay, and they're constipated. Okay, so you may want to look in groups where people are talking about digestive issues. Okay, those people are putting on weight because they can't. Okay, so they're annoyed and frustrated. So maybe just changing their diet and doing your program, they would have benefit. So check those out. People that are diabetic are heavy generally. They're trying to lose weight. That's another area. Hypertension, another area of people wanting to lose weight. Okay, so think outside of, where do you find other people, other groups, like other people's keto groups or paleo groups or Mediterranean groups, or, there's all types of weight loss groups out there. But think of the symptoms that people are having to have them say, I want to lose weight. Okay, so expand where you're looking in. Okay, and then of course there are, the 40-something woman who has teenagers who has put on extra pounds and wants to lose weight. So also get more specific in who do you want to draw attention to, right? What age group? What's happening in their lives? Where are they at? So maybe you want to get into, if your ideal client is, women that have teenagers, okay? And that's generally when the time when weight starts to come up because their metabolism starts to slow down. So get into groups of moms with teenagers, okay? And that's how you start, noticing, getting into relationships with people, letting people know what you do. Okay, and I'll show you later on at the end of this how to do it with a lead magnet. Okay, so that's that one category. So let's say you do essential oils. Okay, a lot of you on here, are part of selling essential oils. So think of, why do people need essential oils? So what are the, why would you want an essential oil? Is it for sleep? Is it for digestion? Is it for anxiety or relaxation? So go into groups where people are looking for solutions to those issues, okay? Also, you can get into interests of, if your ideal client is a woman in her 50s or 60s or a man, get into interest groups, okay? And then share what you do in there. So that's another reason. And then also, don't be afraid to get into the business groups, not groups, but business pages of the bigger gurus, like a Tony Robbins, if you're into personal development. Not a lot of people can afford a Tony Robbins, event, okay? And they don't want to be around 8,000 people. They want a smaller group to tackle their issue. So don't be afraid to get in there and to friend people, invite people over into your space from these bigger Facebook business pages, okay? Because they don't have the funds to go to these events. They want something more intimate, don't be afraid to invite them over into your space so that you can nurture them and then promote your offers to them, okay? So do not be afraid to do that. So that is like one way to do it, okay? I think I have more than 6. So if you're just hopping on, say hi so I can see who's here, you guys. Great. Hi, Kimberly, you got it. Yeah, search based on pain points, not the thing you fix itself. Yeah, go for the pain point. Exactly. Like in the weight loss example, digestive issue problems, diabetes, hypertension. Who are the type of people that are wanting to lose weight or have better health? Okay, and need a coach. Remember, a lot of these, with the diagnosis of diabetes, hypertension, digestive issues, they go to the doctor. The doctor only has 15 minutes to be with them and then, gives them medication. And these are the type of people that really would benefit from lifestyle changes, right? But the doctor doesn't have time, or the nurse, to sit there and go through a coaching program with them. That's why you need to branch out into this area, because there will be people that want your services. Okay, they don't want to be on the medication, or they want to lower their their numbers so that they're on less medication and are more healthy or healthier. Sometimes it's a wake-up call suddenly when they're diagnosed as a diabetic or a being hypertensive. It's a wake-up call, right? Suddenly, they've got to handle something. Okay, most people will want the medication because it's easier. They don't want to do the work, but people do want to do the work, and they want to get off the medication, and they seek out people like you, coaches. Same with digestive issues. When it's so bad, remember, the pain has to be so bad or they're so sick and tired of a situation that they're humbling themselves and asking for help. But you want to be out there in those groups saying what's possible, right? Okay, that's one. Also, go into local groups, not only these national groups or international groups that are big. Go into local groups, Okay, there are local groups in your community, and that's something you're going to have in common. If you do, like in your county here in the United States, we have towns and cities and counties and states. You know, get into groups that are specific with your ideal client, with the pain point in a location geographically, because immediately you have a connection with these people. You live in the area. Okay, so don't forget to join local groups. Okay. Now, these big spammy groups, right, that have over, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 100,000 of your ideal clients in, that are pretty much spam related. And the only way you can really get in there and post anything is that you pay $100 to be qualified to post in there, or to drop your lead magnet, or to make a promotion. So I'm not in favor of these, but I am in favor of them to do a sub search in them to find your people. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and show you what that looks like. Okay, so hang in here. Is that Chrome? Yeah, that's Chrome. Let me just pull this down. I kind of set it up a little bit already. Did I? Where is it? Here we go. So here's one of my groups. Let me see if I can go back up. Where is it? So it's Women's Prosperity Network. It has, I don't know, 17,000, 20,000 people in here. And what you can do, I'm just going to backtrack so you can see it. Okay, here it is. So if you go here, do you see this little search bar? This search bar is to search within the group. Okay, so let's say I want to search in this group, and I want to search for people because my new program is around lead magnets and generating leads with lead magnet. I want to see if there's any conversations going on in here around a lead magnet. So I'm going to just pop this in here, click on it. And if I scroll down, this is not one. Let me move this out of the way. So look, here's something from 2021, which is fine. What are the potential challenges you're faced when it comes to lead magnets? So here someone is doing some research for me. I don't even have to post this. And there's 3 comments here. So if I open these comments up, I can see what are their problems. And so this gal is really someone I would want to connect with because I have a solution for her. Okay, so she's kind of not sure on the wording or the images that will speak to her clients. She doesn't really know how to do it. This gal doesn't know how to do it. So I would just hover over them and add her as a friend, which is a request to be my friend. So she's now going to go to my personal page, right? Who is Dell's Piana? She's going to see my banner, and she's going to decide if she wants to be my friend or not, so that when I promote my next program, it really is something for her. Okay, now I don't know, it's been a while, it's over a year since hopefully she's figured it out by now, but maybe she hasn't. And the same with this gal, she's also looking for help around that. So I would just click on that, and then I would go to the next one. There I am. And see if there's any other posts around lead magnets. Okay. Let's see. Attract new leads daily on autopilot. So, but see, nobody's commenting. So that's fine. Just keep going. Here's irresistible lead magnet works, creating this, but nobody, here's someone that's clicked on it. You can even go into the reactions, and I can go see what this gal is all about. And if I think she's, she's about menopause. Okay. So she's out there, she's a coach. So I'm going to add her as a friend as well. So that is a way to narrow down who is your ideal client who wants what you have to offer, is do a sub search in bigger groups. Okay. Or smaller groups, either way. Okay. So I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to keep going. What else do I have here? Okay. So we did local groups. We did big spammy groups. Okay. Go into the search bar. You want to be more specific with your keywords. Okay. I think I'm going to share my screen again, just so you can see how to do this. Okay. So if I go back into the search bar of Facebook, let's get out of here. And you want to get into, let's do digestive issues for women. Let's see what comes up. Here, nutrition for women with digestive issues. There's 1.6 thousand members in here. Okay, digestive health for women with digestive issues, digestive solutions for women with autoimmune gut issues. So these are all areas, even though they're small, I'd get in there because they're looking for a solution. Okay, and if I can help them with their solution, if there are people in there, not only do they want to solve their digestive issues, but they want to lose weight, I may be the perfect person for them. Okay, but narrow it down, put in more keywords up here, get more specific, and try them all out. Not only, groups, but go down here. You see over here, it says pages. See what kind of pages come up. Okay, or who are these people? Find out. Obviously, this is state representative. These are not anything that would do with that. So that does not work. But we're like detectives at this point, looking for our ideal clients. We're sifting and sorting. Remember, it is a numbers game. You're filling the top of your funnel with people, inviting them over to your space, and a few will, as they move through your nurturing system, right? Getting to know, like, and trust you, they will drop out and they will raise their hand and work with you. Okay. But, if you have 100 people and you promote to 100 people, maybe one person will say yes, 1%, maybe 5 people will say yes. But the point is, you've got to keep at this every day. Okay. So be more specific with your keywords. Another thing is, use this, go into your own interest. What are you interested in? Okay. It doesn't have to be their interest, although that's good as well. What are they interested in, your ideal clients, beyond the pain point? What are some of their interests? But look at your interests. Where are you hanging out, in a hobby? Because someone in there, you can start building relationships with people in your interest groups and then start sharing what you do in there. And see if there's anyone, you can drop your lead magnet in there if you ask the administrator, and see if there's anyone in there who wants what you have to offer. And then you can move them over to your email list and start nurturing them, and then start offering promoting your programs and services. Okay, so don't be afraid of interest groups, okay, that have nothing to do with the pain point. And associations. What associations are you a part of? Do people know what you do? Okay. Do they know what you do? Okay. So get to know people in there and get cozy with the administrator and say, listen, there's 1,000 people in here. Is it possible I could drop my free resource link in here and see if someone is interested in XYZ? Okay. So definitely branch out. The idea is to branch out. And then, of course, number 5, I said, get into the smaller groups. I think years ago, everyone was saying, get into groups bigger than 10,000. Yeah, there's more, people in there to connect with. But I kind of am now at the point, as we are moving forward in 2023, it's all about building relationships and connections. And it's easier to get seen in the smaller groups. And in the smaller groups, you don't have to pay to post in. Okay, they want the engagement. They want people to contribute. Because they want the engagement. They want, community involvement. So that's where I would spend my time posting. I wouldn't pay $100 a month and post in a big group that has 30,000 people, and a handful of people are going to see your invitation. I would get into the smaller groups right now. Okay. Is this making sense to you guys? Are you doing any of this? Oh, we have some comments. Let's see what's up. Hi, Christina. Kimberly's on. So I want to replace my full-time income. Oh, good, with business this year, and I want to establish myself as great, great, great. Hoping to phase out of that and be able to work with prevention as I finish my integrated nurse coach certificate course. Great idea. Prevention. Yeah. But you know, the thing with prevention is you got to find the people that are health nuts that are into prevention. Okay. Most people, they will only reach out to a coach when the pain points, the struggle, the challenge is so great that they can't take it anymore, and they're sick and tired of where they're stuck, that they then reach out to someone. But remember the journey of someone, the buyer's journey. It may take them a while before they say yes to you. That's why you want to attract them to them, use your content and your email to nurture them with information and education and inspiration, and then promote to. And it may take many promotions that they see before they say yes. Okay. It's a numbers game. All right. And all right, great. And then the last one I want to deal with is, let me see. Let me just go through my notes, make sure I've got everything here. Oh, I wanted to talk about spirituality because there's a lot of coaches in this group, you guys, that are targeting spiritual coaches to help them build their business. So define what is a spiritual coach. There's so many different categories, subcategories under a spiritual coach: tarot reader, astrologer, human design, cards of destiny, yoga, reflexology, and then you get into, the Christian religions and things like that. So you want to be very specific. Who is your target market when you go into, pull up those groups of tarot card readers, of astrologers, of people that teach yoga or, meditation. Go into those groups and get connected in there and pull them out. Don't get into the bigger groups, go into the smaller groups that are specific to that title, okay, of how they identify, and then go into local groups too, okay? Smaller, get known in there. You can build your like and trust much faster in the smaller groups than you can in these megillah of groups. All right. That's my tip this year. That's my strategy. And the last way I want to talk to you about is using a lead magnet to attract your ideal clients. I'm telling you, this has been my number one way. Okay. I do all the other stuff too, but this is my number one way. And a lead magnet is a free resource that you put out there in exchange for someone's contact information. So you are attracting your ideal client because you're giving them a piece of your bigger program in a lead magnet, right? But you're not giving everything away. You're giving them a taste, like the appetizer of what you do and how you serve. Okay. But they're going to want more. So they get onto your email list, and that is a way to nurture them. So what I have found in the last 6 months is a lot of you that have gotten into my group here or on my email list are just starting out and building your businesses, starting your programs, and you don't know where to start, or you have a program, you have it tested already, but you don't know how to fill your email list with people that are interested in what you have to offer. So the past 8 weeks, I have been putting together a new mini program. It's called the Amazing Moneymaker Lead Magnet Machine Masterclass. Okay. And it's over 6 weeks. Okay. And it's for coaches, like I said, that are just getting started. and want to learn how to attract and generate leads using a lead magnet and filling your email list. Okay, so you're going to learn how to build your email list. You're going to create a lead magnet. Okay, I'm going to tell you how to do it. What are the best lead magnets that will attract your ideal client? You're going to learn how to create it, set up a landing page, set up an email autoresponder, how to set up an email welcome series, nurturing series, how to deliver the lead magnet. We're also going to, I'm going to teach you how to offer a low ticket offer product of yours as well, something less than $47, like $7 is like key. So you can start making right away some money from this automation. Okay. So if you are interested in this to participate in this beta course that I've pulled together, that you will be assembling in this. It's not like theory. You will be working, you'll be assembling your lead magnet and your autoresponder and a low ticket offer. You will be putting it all together over 6 to 8 weeks with me. If you're interested in being in this beta group, comment below, beta group. Okay. And I will connect with you over in the DMs. Okay, so it's happening quickly. I have 5 slots available. If you want to be part of this, just mention below. Now, you may not need this, but you have a friend that needs this. You know, tag her below and I'll be sure to connect with her. Okay, and let me know who it is. And I'll connect with her and see if this is something she wants to do. All right, it's for women. I work with women, but you will learn the nuts and bolts of the complete lead generation sales funnel. And this might be your first funnel that you set up, the process of it. Once you know this one funnel, all the rest of the funnels that you create online regarding marketing and sales are going to be easy peasy. Okay, and I break it down very simple, not a lot of fluff. We get right to it. You'll have homework every week, all that kind of stuff. So if this is something for you, let me know below, beta group, and I'll connect with you and give you more of the specifics on a short phone call. Okay. All right. Because we need this. This is easy way. This is the easy way. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm just going to review. We did local groups is a great way. Get into the spammy groups, but get into the search bar of the big spammy groups and put in some keywords to get into the conversations that are specific to what you deliver. So you want to see who's having problems in those areas and then connect with those gals who are commenting below the conversation. Okay, that will help you, because otherwise you're just scrolling in there and reading stuff and you're going down a rabbit hole and you're wasting too much time. So be specific, use that search bar, get specific, and then add friends, which is really, when you add friend, it's really an invitation. Do you want to connect with me? So that's you want to be doing. So you want to be more specific in your keyword search. Also, you want to be more specific when you're looking for groups and business pages to get involved in, to see where your ideal client is. And I don't mind the smaller ones. Okay. We've been told go for the bigger ones. I'm now all about relationships and connections, and you could do that easier in the smaller groups. Okay. Also get into groups of interest rather. Okay. Also, we talked about getting into groups that are the pain points, not the solutions, but the pain points. Like my example with digestive, if someone is a health and wellness coach and you deal with weight loss, you want to help people lose weight or get better, healthier, look into people that have digestive issues, are diabetic, are hypertension, have inflammation, joints, arthritis, thyroid issues. Okay. Smaller groups, and then use a lead magnet. If you want to be part of this beta group, that's going to be kicking off in a couple of weeks, say beta group below, and we'll get on a conversation. I'll give you more specifics and you'll be part of the group. It is a paid program, but since it's beta, obviously the price is lower than it will be. All right, you guys. Let me just check there's a lot of people on here. Let me just check, make sure. Good, you guys. Great, Kimberly and Helene. Great. And I will tag the rest of you that said you wanted to be on here, so you get the opportunity as well to see if you want to be in this beta group where we make your lead magnet, set up your autoresponder, get your first funnel created. It's like, that's an accomplishment. That is an accomplishment, is set up your first funnel on the internet. Okay, you guys, that's what I have for you today, and I will be seeing you all next week. Bye.